Hey everyone, welcome back to my Let's Play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, we sort of stumbled upon our next, not case necessarily, but maybe mystery, where Sherlock pawned his violin for whatever reason, and it turns out they gave him a viola instead, and it was causing him to go into a depression, basically. And now we're gonna go, I guess, confront these pawnbroker and see where the heck the violin went. Not sure yet if it was an accident or intentional or what. I'm not exactly sure either how this is going to tie into the Hound of Baskerville's case, but I guess we'll see. I want to say real quick though, hey, thank you guys so much for your continued support of the series. It's been an exhausting week starting school and everything, so I appreciate your patience with my upload schedule, and hope to have a better groove next week, which I feel like I say every week. Eventually I'll get it right, you know. So yeah, anyways, you guys are the best. And let's go to the pawnbroker, I think. Oh, new location. We can go to Baker Street. Bustling London Street, on which can be found Mr. Sholmes' office and Windibank's pawnbrokery. There's a large park nearby, too. Let's go there first. Okay, never mind. If there's no, like, date and location that pops up at the bottom, then you know you're in the wrong spot. That's typically how you gotta maintain your sanity when playing these games. Pawnbroker shop on Baker Street. Mr. Sholmes is a regular, it seems. How fascinating. Yeah. That's how you know you're at the right place. 15th of April, Windibank's pawnbrokery. Sorry, I was just looking at all the stuff. Oh my god, there's shoes hanging from the ceiling. Got Pinocchio going on in the corner. A calendar. April 15th. I was like, do they tell me the date somewhere? And it's literally at the bottom of the screen. Okay. It's pretty clean for a pawnbrokery. So this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before. Ah, Suzato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. Can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this. Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me. My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of fury in his eyes. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, sir. Welcome back. Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yes, we are potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruhodo, and it's time to inform Mr. Windibank of our ire. Come, the fight is afoot. I literally just did the same exact gesture with my hands when I was talking as him. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. You know, sometimes I consider eventually using like a face cam, but then you guys will see how I like talk with my hands even while I'm recording Let's Plays. Like, I should have my hands on the controller, but apparently that's too much for me. Hello, mister. Naturally you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yes. This second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windibank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size. A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes. I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There is only one way to make amends. Oh my god! I shall have to take my own life. Sholmes is like, yeah, do it. I don't think that will be necessary, do you? If I may just say one thing before I pop off. Ah, yes. It was you, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe. Sorry? As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, "Ah, here it is." You did? Really, Sholmes? And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the viola and left, sir. Nice. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me. No, stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine. I'm surrounded by idiots. Please put the gun back, sir. Phew.
It would appear that the fight is over.
I do humbly apologize, Mr. Winterbank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition now, would you? Haha, I do believe you may be right, sir. Ah ha 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 ha! It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I needn't remind you of the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past. Oh god.
Oh? Peculiar items?
In the extreme, ma'am. For example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes or some such.
Oh my! A new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I have yet to read, you mean?
Ah! Forgive me!
Wait, before you die, you must tell me more.
Okay, oh, is it gonna be like the story about the case of the Hound of Baskervilles? Okay, maybe. Or someone stole it, because it was the chapter's called the unspeakable something, right? I don't even remember. Hey.
I must know more. Tell me everything.
Wow, Susanna-san is really fired up now.
Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof?
Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see. Wow. I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Winterbank. Huh. For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir. Not a farthing more. It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I beg your pardon, a manuscript. You wish to deposit a manuscript? Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here. Ooh, it got stolen. And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? I thought that was Susanna's voice for a second. Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings, secretly. Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you, on my life. This is all very strange. Huh. Weird. I wonder, can I ask you something? Oh, a gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry? Ah, but for your splendid attire, madam, 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say.
Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting.
Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan in 2 months of secure stowage. If at that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, the items are happily returned.
But what happens if they don't pay you the money?
that the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me.
So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then?
That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all. The very idea, Mr. Winterbank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually.
Says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning.
And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs.
Oh, what sort of measures?
I engineered a simple device which Mr. Winterbank has installed here in his shop. I call it the Red-Handed Recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Winterbank?
What was that deep sigh about? Oh god. Yeah. What on earth is a red-handed recorder?
Use your eyes, my dear fellow. They are two just below the ceiling.
I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device.
Very astute. It is indeed a camera furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop. Here, I have an example I could show you.
I see a picture of a dog.
Ah yes, a print from the camera set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image, even in darkness.
Really? That's extraordinary. Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look! And a picture of a cat. I saw it.
So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed.
But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals?
Indeed, as you say, my dear madam.
Then what if the incident were to occur in between times?
One can only say, that would be a cruel twist of fate. Oh, I must confess your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late. I beg your pardon, Mr. Winterbank. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of the film, sir. You most graciously placed not one, but 2 cameras in my shop after all. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older.
Ah.
Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price. Oh, heaven help us.
Oh my god, what the...
Where did this conversation go? Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin.
Yo!
Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Winterbank. Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you tried to pop, Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer.
I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt.
Fear not.
Sorry?
I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed.
That's not really what I meant.
Good day to you, then, Mr. Winterbank. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last.
Explore what exactly? Just the place? Okay. Here's a bucket.
That is not what I was looking at. Look at that enormous ledger open on the counter there.
Mr. Winterbank is, if nothing else, very particular about recording the items he accepts.
He'd have to be. Otherwise he'd get himself into all sorts of trouble. Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far more than the ledger.
Ew. This revolver here. Danger. Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article herein, my dear fellow. Huh? I assure you, Mr. Winterbank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speed belying his portly size.
Oh, you don't mean he'd...
Blow his brains out, indeed, in recompense for his blunder.
Oh my. But in any case, of course we would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it?
Guess you don't know us, Sherlock. Herlock. Scales of justice. There seems to be a little door hidden behind that curtain there. That leads to the storage room, where Mr. Winterbank keeps articles that are currently in pawn.
Ah, I see.
There's nothing of particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any loss in this activity. Recommend it or not, it's not something I tend to do. There is but one key, and Mr. Winterbank keeps it in his pocket at all times. Yo, I feel like Winterbank's gonna die. He might, I don't know. Before he sleeps, he places it into a small pot, which he slides under his pillow. How on earth you knew about that, Mr. Sholmes? I am a detective, sir. It is my business to know what others do not. I am frequently assailed by information that I neither care for nor wish to retain.
Mr. Sholmes, you are a wonder.
And the prime suspect if this pawnbrokery is ever burgled. Burgled? Burglarized? Burgled? Didn't know that was a word? Alright. Yep.
Look at this. Look at this lovely big shiny Boxby.
That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country.
Oh my! Yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before.
It's a jukebox. Shall we listen a while?
Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels.
I've never heard anything like it before in my life. This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played.
My goodness, what a simply delightful machine.
Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course.
Ah, science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace.
True that, yo. We got some clocks.
What an assortment of things there on the,
what? That sentence, sorry.
What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine.
Those are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn, or colloquially pop, an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale at a price of his choosing. Oh yes, now you've explained it. I'm noticing little price tags and everything. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So, you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasured university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit. Gung-ho for that student spirit. Anything else? Oh, nope. We got all that. Shoes. What about you, sir? I already talked to you. Over here. Oh.
Now what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does?
It seems to have two little windows for looking through. What is that? Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope.
A stereoscope? Fascinating.
It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself.
Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look.
Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, In order to see the image properly, stereoscopically as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today.
Alright then, I'm gonna try it. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo, you must see, at once!
Oh, well, alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed, like I'm trying to look at my own nose? What is it, like one of those telescope things? Oh. Okay, so like, here's the thing. Whenever you get this much detail, it's like somehow this is gonna play into the murder, you know what I mean? She looks like the girl from, oh god, what Ace Attorney game was that? Where it's like the, with Don Tigre? Was that his name? Don Tigre? Where it was like he had like the assistant who was like the girl who like got into a car accident and she like didn't care about anything. That's what she looks like. But anyways, okay, so we got a horse in the background that's moving. We've got a shop. Okay. What the? I don't believe it. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Oh, I didn't try and cross my eyes. I'll do that when I go back to the video. I can't cross my eyes very well, it kind of hurts. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them.
Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic?
Girl, calm down, it's okay. It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well, science! Far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day.
Oh.
It's called Science Man. What is that?
Look at this. Whatever could it be used for?
Is it for ink? I have no idea.
Ah. There's a small catch just here. Look.
Uh-huh. We're gonna open it, aren't we?
Oh my, that's amazing. It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism.
Which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before. Huh? What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing! No, nothing at all! Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. Is it binoculars or a camera? I don't know what I'm supposed to remember about that. Alright, the date. It be April, yo. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th of April. Today's date. Nice. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It is an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night and midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. Perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Winterbank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period has passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on the date. Something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say.
Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job.
Oh! Won't only tuppence for it? That ain't fair, and you know it. The article is barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot offer more. Well, who is talking? What? Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you even had a proper butcher's at it? I've seen all I need to see, young girl. Oh, yo, it's what's-her-face. Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her.
Oh yes, it's the young lady from Mr. McGilded's trial 2 months ago.
Oh, God. God, I don't even remember. Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, and it's a crust among large crowds relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. Oh, yeah, that crazy girl. Uh-huh.
Gordon Bennett, you lot!
I don't even remember what voice I gave her.
Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well.
What? You remember me then, do ya? Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure.
So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us. Nothing to eat. Come to pop that black weasel. Sorry, coat, have ya?
What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Ah, good day, unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher.
Ah, Mr. Sholmes.
So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate with Mr. Winterbank on your behalf.
Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get out of my business. Go on, or I'll make trouble for you.
As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence. Babbage! He's really done it. He's gone. I'm sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here. What is that thing he has in his hand? Oh, it's a disc for the music player? Some kind of metal disc?
And you, go on, leave me alone. Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest.
Susanna-san can really stand her ground when she wants to.
Whatever.
Yo, what's up, girl? How are we doing time? Oh, we're good. Pawnbroker's customer. Somehow, I didn't really think you were the sort of person who'd use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade.
Yeah, well, I am, alright. I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. That a problem, is it?
No, not at all. It's just that, well...
Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got it on the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase.
I don't know what that means. Well, like, I might have been thinking something along those lines.
You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Alright then, I'm just gonna come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people?
Well, I don't know how best to answer that, really. Suppose, sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade.
But not this time, alright? I swear, that thing belongs to me. The disc that Mr. Winterbank is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this. Yo, dude, what's up? I think you just pop it in there. It'll play you some music. Oh. The disc.
Mr. Winterbank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface.
Ah, this is a music disc, you see, for use inside a music box. In a music box?
What, you don't even know what a music box is? You Eastern lot ain't too savvy, eh?
I know what a music box is. I've just never seen one of these discs before. The small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going, and beautiful music plays.
It's so incredible. Tell us, what tune is on this disc?
I have a music box that does that, except it's a rolling cylinder. Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music box, you see. British made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. I see. That's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny.
That's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was, well...
He? Who?
Never you mind, it just ain't right, that's all. That disc's worth good money. I know it is.
Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker's, won't you?
Ugh. Gina Lestrade.
She's been in before, of course, this little tatterdemalion.
What? I see. Just gonna accept that word, okay.
Brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add.
Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me. So, is there something dubious about the discs she brought in today?
Well, if only it were that simple.
Sorry? What do you mean?
What she actually brought in was a storage ticket.
Ah, a storage ticket. So, Miss Lestrade has actually come to redeem an article from you today. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing.
Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious.
The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. But as she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her.
But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windibank. Fine, not allowed to.
The little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. It's the overcoat that she redeemed.
Oh. Well, what's wrong with that? It fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So, what about the disc then? How does that come into all this?
The disc is something else. A new article to pawn if the girl and I can agree a price.
Was that, McGilded's jacket? It kind of looks like... I don't remember what he was wearing. Nah, maybe his was more colorful and patchwork. Yeah. New article to pawn. I'm confused. I thought you said that Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today.
It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you say.
For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her care, as I understood it.
That's right, yes, and rather unsurprisingly, as soon as that little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets.
Oh, and found the disc. Oh, you mean...
What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady?
I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it?
If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am.
And she immediately tried to pawn it. For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think.
Give it up. I'm just trying to pawn something like anyone else would.
Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me. It doesn't really appear to be your size.
Me old man. It's the old man's, ain't it?
Is it, Miss Lestrade? Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious. Huh, who did you kill to get their jacket? Out of my way, please! Who that be? Oh, what the hell? Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? Okay.
Good day to you, ladies, gentlemen. What's your problem, eh? There is no problem as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with the proprietor.
Oh, shit. Oh.
And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve. Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. With him yet. I can't talk. If you think you're such a gent, you... Flips into a southern accent. I can't help it sometimes. If you think you're such a gent, you should know how to wait in line.
Oh, God.
Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket. Who are you? How do you know who I am? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. Oh shit, what? You mean I? From you? Broker. Yes, sir. I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you. No? Yes, The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. And needless to say... Oh my god, what is that pose? Any music box discs too? No, you can't have it. You just can't. It's the old man's, or it was. Now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation. Yes. I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. Oh, spicy. All right. Well, you know, I'm going to call this an episode here, actually. Just because we're getting close to 40 minutes. But I am curious to see how this all ties into the next murder or case. Maybe it's her dad. Did he die? Like, I don't know. That might be it, but I guess we'll see. Kind of feel like this guy might be guilty because I don't trust him and he looks like a snob, but we'll see. Anyways, I also got to work on what voice I want to give to him because that was kind of terrible. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, feel free to leave a like, comment, favorite, or subscribe, whatever you guys are feeling. And until the next time, lights off, dark out.